Hello, I'm finally doing the video where I'm going to explain you how to find a work in Singapore in 2021. Before all this coronavirus pandemic, people were coming in Singapore on a short-term visit, and then they were actively networking while they were staying in Singapore, and luckily they would get a job or not, but at least go for some rounds of interview. But as you know, this is not longer possible. We have to find new ways of getting a work in Singapore. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of time and effort because the competition is even more dense right now. When you are applying for a job in Singapore, you can be assured that you are competing with people from all around the globe. There are people that are highly skilled, so you want to make sure that you can stand out. To be able to come work in Singapore, you will need a visa. I already did a video about work pass in Singapore, but I'm going to highlight some information here. Currently, to get a visa for a full-time position, you need to find a company that is willing to apply for you. Singapore is currently having travel restrictions, so you will need also an entry approval to be able to enter the territory of Singapore. Most likely, the company is going to sponsor two types of visa, an S-Pass or an EP. Both are having different criteria in terms of quota and in terms of minimum salary. For the S-Pass, you need to earn at least 2,400, and for the EP, you need to earn at least 4,500. To qualify for an EP, most likely you will need a university degree or to be really experienced. So whenever a company is going to be willing to sponsor your visa, is going to depend also on quotas. Companies in Singapore have to respect the 20% foreigners quota, so they cannot have more than 20% of the workforce that is coming from EP and S-Pass. And to encourage the company to hire locals, Singapore is having also this law that says that the job offer must be published on the local job market during 2 weeks before being available for foreigners. If you want to come in Singapore for an internship, you will need also the entry approval, and most likely you are going to be on the work holiday pass. This allows you to come in Singapore and work for 6 months, and there is no minimum salary or experience needed. For a work holiday visa, you are going to apply for yourself. You have to apply 3 months before coming in Singapore. But to be sure, in this crisis period, I would recommend you to apply once you are sure that you got a job. So how to find a job in Singapore in 2021? In Singapore, the job web portals are very active. I'm going to list some where you can go. You can go on LinkedIn, on Glassdoor, on mycareerfuture.sg, on Indeed, and also on JobStreet, for example. Personally, I found my job offer on LinkedIn. So make sure that on LinkedIn all your information are up to date. You can also write that you are open to work, so then you are going to be visible for recruiters. On LinkedIn, you can also have 1 month premium at some point of time. Then you get to see more insight about job offers. But also something that you can do with the free version is turn on alert for a position that you are interested in, because on LinkedIn you can know how many people have applied for a job offer, and you need to be reactive. When you see that there are more than 200 people that applied for this position, unless you really fit with the job offer, you are already too late. You are going to be submerged by too many applications already, so you need to be reactive. Sometimes you might see some job offer that you think you can fit for the position, but then they are asking for too many requirements, like 5 years of experience when you are fresh graduate. I believe if they have listed this as an entry-level position, you can still try to apply, because most likely a company, when they are posting a job offer, they are asking for the perfect match, but you can end being the perfect match by showing that you can learn fast and that this is the position that you want. Companies have to ask for requirement because otherwise everyone would apply, but you just have to dare and try. I mean, you have nothing to lose. One thing why I like, because it takes no effort to actually apply for a job thanks to the apply now LinkedIn features. Like for example this one, if I want to apply now, I already have my CV. We are going to talk about that in 1 minute, and I can just already submit my application. They are going to share my LinkedIn profile and I have nothing else to do. because we are in 2021, recruiters are not even spending more than 1 minute on each application. So there is no point for you spending hours sending your application. Don't even think about covers letter unless you really want this job and you are having some point that you want to raise. But yeah, no one do that anymore. But I'm not saying that your resume CV shouldn't be on point. Your CV should be eye-catching. I'm not talking about the design of your CV. This you don't need to be fancy, because very eye-catching CV with really like fancy design, often yes, it's eye-catching, but it's also really hard to read for recruiters when they don't have like that much time to spend on your CV trying to understand what you want to say. So the cleaner your format is, the better. I mean, unless you are applying for like a graphic design job, and in this case, yes, you need to be fancy and smart in your design, but otherwise no need. What must be eye-catching is the information that you are having on your resume. So here you can use bold smartly when you are highlighting the important information, but you must make it brief. No need to elongate on 3 pages. Talk about what the recruiter is interested in, your experience. Now everyone is having a degree, so it's really experience that is going to make you stand out. It can be like projects that you are realizing at school, for example, but also some previous experience that you might have. Careful here also, only link the experience that are related to the job you are applying for. So for example, for me, I've been saleswoman for a few months, but it's not an experience that I'm going to mention if I'm going to apply for a product manager position. Make sure that you are listing also other important information such as your industry, your location, because this can help the recruiter understand if you will need sponsorship. You have to state your availability and also the role title that you would like. You have to explain what you are doing currently. Are you studying? Are you working? Have you been traveling? Have you been like self-development thing, anything, so that the company is able to understand your context. You have to say also what you are looking for. So whenever you apply for a job offer, technically you are saying to the company, I am what you are looking for, but then you have to say what you are looking for, because then the company might be happy to give you what you are looking for, if that makes sense. When you are applying for a job, information must come from both sides, the company and yourself, so that it can be a match. But yeah, just explain why you want to come in Singapore, why you want this job, so that they are going to understand your context and they might agree with you. What is important also is that you have to find people that are relevant to talk to. In Singapore and everywhere else, networking is really important. That only then, when you are having an important network, that your career can be very stable, because you are going to be able to bounce back very fast whenever something is happening. So obviously networking cannot be anymore in person, but there are many events that are happening online in Singapore. I'm especially aware about the tech event, but I'm sure that there are many conferences that are given, and you can just join in and talk about stuff that interests you, get to know other people, understand the company ecosystem in Singapore, and you might find a good opportunity there. This can actually help you discover some startups that are in Singapore but you might not have heard of otherwise. Personally, my first job, actually even now I'm working for startup, I really believe that startup is your ticket entrance to Singapore, as the quota are more flexible for startups, so you might really consider it. I haven't talked about employment agency, but it's something you can consider also if you are looking for a very specialized work, or if you have no time to focus on your job search and you are having some money to put up front. But usually a job research in Singapore will take like around 6 months currently. Many recruiters are not going to come back to you because sometimes they are just contacting shortlisted candidates, or sometimes they are just too busy. So make sure that if you can, you are sending a follow-up email like about 2 weeks after, so that you really show that you are motivated for the position. And if you are still getting nothing in return, at least you can can say that you did your best, as it can take some time and it's not easy. Throughout your research, you have to keep a very positive mindset, otherwise you are going to give up very easily. Some people are telling me that they have given up looking for a job in Singapore when they want to come so bad, but only if you give up, you have 100% of chance that this will never happen. So just keep going. If you are lucky enough to get an answer from the recruiter, then you might have to go through some round of interview. Usually in Singapore it's never less than 2, so make sure that you are ready to answer some very basic questions like present yourself, what you want to do in the future, why you want to work for this company, why they should choose you. You must also be able to talk in details about your experience or your project. You must be able to demonstrate your competencies. You might have to go through a test also actually, and you must be aware of the industry or technology where your company is evolving. If you are being selected for a job in Singapore, congratulations, now you have to sign your contract. There are some points that you might discuss with your company, like the health insurance. If you are an expat, they might pay for the school of your kids, maybe for your home or like other things. You have to think also about the salary you want to ask for. Obviously the company might already have an idea of what they want to propose you, but you must be able to understand what are going to be your expenses if you are coming in Singapore. In Singapore the average salary is between 4 to 5k, but as there is no minimum salary, this can vary a lot depending on your lifestyle and the job you are going for. I would recommend you to get at least between 2 to 3k if you are on a low technical job. If you want to apply for like a medium corporate job, I would advise you to get between 5 to 7k, and if you are senior, then only the sky is your limit. But if you are a person that change job, you can opt for a salary increase between 10 to 15%. So that was it. This is how to find a job in Singapore in 2021. I hope that this was really helpful. Let me know if I miss any information that you are curious to know. I will answer you in the comment section, and otherwise I'm going to do another video. Remember to subscribe to support the channel. I'm sharing about all the things about living and working in Singapore. Like this video for more people to be able to see it, and share it with other people that are interested in working in Singapore, and I will see you next time.